I should have known Rebecca would ruin everything. She always did. But that night, watching her chat with my colleagues at the company anniversary party, glass of champagne in hand, I actually believed she was happy for me. My name is Alexandra Martin, and I was about to become the youngest VP of operations at Turner and Associates. At 32, it was everything I'd worked for. The culmination of 10 years of late nights, missed weekends, and relentless dedication. To Alex. Rebecca raised her glass, her designer dress catching the light. My brilliant big sister. Who would have thought that the girl who used to eat paste in kindergarten would end up here? Everyone laughed. Even my husband David, standing beside me, chuckled at the gentle ribbing. But there was something in Rebecca's smile that should have warned me. A sharp edge beneath the sweetness, like a razor blade wrapped in silk. I'd seen that look before, when she accidentally spilled red wine on my prom dress. When she told my college boyfriend I'd been cheating on him. When she convinced our parents to use my wedding fund for her startup idea instead. But this was different. I was different. At 32, I had finally built something she couldn't touch. A career I'd earned through merit, not manipulation. A marriage built on trust and understanding. I thought I was untouchable. I was wrong. The party was in full swing when I noticed Rebecca had disappeared. David was deep in conversation with some colleagues from accounting, and I was due to give my acceptance speech in 20 minutes. I headed to the ladies' room to touch up my makeup, my mind already on the words I'd practiced. That's when I heard Rebecca's voice, soft but clear, coming from around the corner. I hate having to tell you this, David, but as your sister-in-law, as someone who cares about you, you deserve to know. I froze, my hand still reaching for the bathroom door. Know what? David's voice was guarded. Rebecca, if this is about Alex. It is. I found something. On her phone. She left it unlocked at lunch last week, and I saw the messages. My heart stopped. What messages? I never left my phone unlocked, and I certainly hadn't had lunch with Rebecca in months. Messages? David's voice had dropped, taking on that quiet intensity I knew so well. What kind of messages? Between her and James, her boss. Rebecca's voice trembled with fake concern. They've been seeing each other for months. The promotion, it's not just about her work performance. The silence that followed was deafening. I wanted to step around that corner, to confront her lies, but my feet wouldn't move. This couldn't be happening. Not again. Not now. I have screenshots, Rebecca continued. I sent them to your phone. I'm so sorry, David. I know this must be devastating. I heard footsteps, David's, walking away quickly. Finally, I forced myself to move, to round that corner and face my sister. She was still standing there, phone in hand, that same sweet smile on her face. When she saw me, her eyes widened in mock surprise. Oh, Alex, I was just destroying my life. I finished for her, my voice surprisingly steady despite the rage building inside me. Again? She had the audacity to look hurt. I'm protecting David. He deserves to know the truth. What truth? I stepped closer, my hands shaking. Those messages are fake, Rebecca. You and I both know it. Her smile didn't waver. Do we? The timestamps match your late nights at the office. The pet names, the secret meetings. It's all there. And really, who would believe you didn't sleep your way to the top? A VP position at your age? Before I could respond, my phone buzzed. A message from David. Don't come home tonight. Or any night. I can't even look at you. I stared at the screen, my vision blurring. In the main ballroom, I could hear James, my boss, beginning the promotion announcement. But it didn't matter anymore. In the space of 10 minutes, my sister had managed to destroy everything I built. Why? I whispered, looking up at her. What did I ever do to you? Rebecca's smile finally fell, revealing something darker underneath. You existed, she said simply. You were always the smart one, the successful one, the one everyone admired. Well, not anymore. She brushed past me, her expensive perfume lingering in the air. Better go tell James you won't be accepting that promotion after all. Sexual harassment scandals are so messy. I stood there frozen as my world crumbled around me. In the distance, I could hear applause as James announced my name. But all I could focus on was the message still glowing on my phone screen, and the realization that my sister had finally won. Or so she thought. Because what Rebecca didn't know, what she couldn't know, was that this time would be different. This time, I wouldn't just survive her betrayal. I would make her regret it. The next 5 years redefined everything I thought I knew about survival. The day after the party, I walked into James' office and resigned. His face showed confusion, then concern as I explained that I couldn't accept the promotion. I didn't tell him about Rebecca's lies. The shame was too fresh, too raw. David filed for divorce within a week. The evidence Rebecca had fabricated was thorough: doctored photos, fake text messages, even receipts from hotels I'd supposedly visited with James. My protest of innocence fell on deaf ears. After all, Rebecca was family. Why would she lie? I lost everything in the divorce. Our house, most of our friends, even our dog. David's lawyer painted me as an ambitious climber who'd do anything for success, including betraying my marriage. The irony was bitter. I'd worked so hard to earn everything honestly, only to be branded a cheat. But Rebecca had made one crucial mistake. In her eagerness to destroy my life, she'd forgotten to consider what I might do with nothing left to lose. I left Seattle behind, moving to Boston where an old college friend had connections at Milton and Green, a rising tech consulting firm. Starting over at 32 wasn't easy, but spite is a powerful motivator. I worked harder than ever, channeling my anger into excellence. This time, I was smarter. I kept detailed records of everything: emails, meetings, project successes. I made allies instead of friends, building a network of people who respected my work rather than my personality. And I watched from afar as Rebecca's life played out on social media. She married David 2 years after my divorce. I wasn't surprised. She'd always wanted what was mine. They looked happy in their photos, traveling the world, attending charity galas. Rebecca had finally gotten the life she thought she deserved. But I knew better than to trust appearances. Through my network, I kept tabs on her career moves. She'd started a tech company, SecureShare, using Dad's connections to secure initial funding. The company promised revolutionary blockchain security solutions, and Rebecca played her part well. The dynamic female founder disrupting a male-dominated industry. I almost admired her audacity. Almost. Then came the email I'd been waiting for, though I hadn't known it until that moment. A message from Rebecca herself, arriving late one Tuesday evening as I sat in my corner office at Milton and Green, where I'd just made partner. Dear Alex, I hope this email finds you well. I know we haven't spoken in years and I understand why, but I'm reaching out because I believe we can help each other. SecureShare is expanding and we're looking for strategic investors for our Series B funding round. Your reputation in the tech consulting world is impressive. I've followed your success from afar and I'm proud of what you've accomplished. We're offering early access to this investment opportunity to a select group of individuals. Given your expertise and our family connection, I wanted to extend this offer personally. The potential returns are substantial. We're projecting 300% growth over the next 2 years. I know our past is complicated, but perhaps this could be a fresh start for us as sisters and business partners. Let me know if you'd like to discuss further. Best regards, Rebecca. I read the email 3 times, each word burning into my brain. The sheer audacity of it, reaching out after 5 years as if she hadn't systematically destroyed my life. And yet, I opened my laptop and began researching SecureShare more thoroughly. The company had grown rapidly, but something about their financials didn't add up. The projected growth figures were too perfect, the client testimonials too polished. I made some calls to former colleagues in Seattle who still owed me favors. Within days, I had a clearer picture of what Rebecca had built and what she was trying to hide. SecureShare was a house of cards, built on manipulated data and empty promises. The blockchain technology they claimed to have developed was mostly smoke and mirrors. They were burning through investor money at an alarming rate, and Rebecca was desperately seeking new funding to keep the charade going. She needed my investment not just for the money, but for the legitimacy my name would bring. My success in tech consulting would encourage other investors, buying her more time to maintain her facade. I leaned back in my chair, a smile spreading across my face as I crafted my reply. Dear Rebecca, thank you for reaching out. You're right, it has been a long time. I'd love to discuss this investment opportunity in person. Perhaps we could meet in Boston next week. Looking forward to reconnecting. Best, Alex. Her response came within minutes, eager and relieved. We arranged to meet at my office the following Tuesday. As I confirmed the meeting, I felt a familiar sensation. that same cold fury that had driven me for the past 5 years. But now it was tempered with something else: anticipation. Because what Rebecca didn't know was that I'd spent those years building more than just a new career. I'd built a trap, and she was walking right into it. Rebecca arrived at my office exactly on time, dressed in a Chanel suit that probably cost more than most people's monthly salary. Her smile was the same one I remembered from that night 5 years ago, sweet but sharp around the edges. "Alex?" She moved to hug me, but I stepped back, gesturing to the chair across from my desk. Her smile flickered but didn't fade. "You look different. Success suits you." I sat down, studying her. Up close, I could see the cracks in her perfect facade, the slight tremor in her hands, the tension around her eyes. She was desperate, though trying hard not to show it. "Let's skip the small talk," I said, opening my laptop. "Tell me about SecureShare's financials." For the next hour, I listened as Rebecca presented her company's story. The pitch was polished, full of buzzwords and promises of revolutionary technology, but beneath the surface, I could hear the desperation growing in her voice. "We're projecting significant growth," she said, pulling up a sleek presentation. "With this round of funding." "You mean with my money?" I interrupted quietly. She paused, then smiled. "Well, yes. Your investment would be crucial. We're offering you an incredible opportunity here, Alex. A chance to be part of something revolutionary." I nodded slowly, then turned my laptop around to face her. "Something revolutionary? Like these financial records?" The color drained from her face as she recognized the internal documents displayed on my screen. Documents that showed the truth about SecureShare's hollow promises and missing funds. "How did you get these?" I finished for her. "I have friends in interesting places, Rebecca. Friends who are very good at finding things people want to hide." "Those documents are confidential," she said, her voice shaking slightly. "You have no right." "Like you had no right to destroy my marriage? My career?" I kept my voice steady, watching her squirm. "The difference is, these documents are real, unlike those fake messages you showed David 5 years ago." She straightened in her chair, attempting to regain control. "That's ancient history, and you can't prove anything about those messages." "Actually, I can." I opened another file. "See, while you were busy playing startup founder, I had experts analyze those screenshots. They found proof they were doctored. I have signed statements confirming the forgery." "So what?" Her mask finally cracked, showing the anger beneath. "It doesn't matter now. David and I are married. You can't change that." "I don't want to change that," I said quietly. "What I want is for you to understand exactly what you're about to lose." I pressed a button on my desk phone. "Send them in, please." The door opened and 3 people walked in. James Turner, my former boss from Seattle; Sarah Chin, the lead investigator from the SEC; and Michael Harrison, David's business partner. Rebecca's face went ash white. "Ms. Martin," Sarah began formally, "we've been investigating SecureShare for months. The evidence your sister provided confirms our suspicions of fraud, misappropriation of investor funds, and multiple securities violations." "That's ridiculous," Rebecca stammered, but Michael cut her off. "Save it, Rebecca. I've already spoken to David about this. The firm is severing all ties with SecureShare. We can't risk being associated with fraud." James simply stood there, arms crossed, his presence a reminder of the career she tried to destroy. Rebecca turned to me, her composure completely shattered. "You planned this," she whispered. "All of it. The investment meeting, the investigation." "Yes," I said simply, "just like you planned to destroy my life 5 years ago. The difference is I didn't have to lie. Your own actions did all the work for me." "I'll lose everything," she said, her voice breaking. "The company, my reputation, David. Now you know how it feels." I stood up, gathering my papers. "The SEC has questions for you. I suggest you answer them honestly, for once in your life." As Rebecca was led away for questioning, I sat back down at my desk, feeling strangely empty. The revenge I'd planned for 5 years was complete, but it brought less satisfaction than I'd expected. Later that evening, as I stood at my office window watching the Boston skyline, my phone buzzed with a text from David. "I just heard about Rebecca. About everything. I'm sorry I didn't believe you back then." I didn't respond. Some bridges, once burned, should stay that way. A week later, the story broke in the business press. SecureShare's collapse was spectacular. taking Rebecca's reputation with it. She faced criminal charges for investor fraud, and David filed for divorce after learning the full extent of her deceptions. I watched it all from a distance, neither celebrating nor mourning. In the end, Rebecca's downfall wasn't really about revenge. It was about justice, about showing her that actions have consequences, that the truth eventually comes to light. My new corner office at Milton and Green felt different after that day. The view was the same, but the weight I'd carried for 5 years had lifted. I'd proven something not just to Rebecca, but to myself, that success built on truth would always outlast success built on lies. Sometimes at night, I still think about that company party 5 years ago, about the sister who thought she could take everything from me. She never understood that by trying to destroy me, she gave me the strength to rebuild something stronger. In the end, Rebecca's greatest mistake wasn't in betraying me. It was in underestimating what I would become because of that betrayal. The last I heard, she had moved back in with our parents, her dreams of success shattered by her own deceptions. Sometimes I wonder if she thinks about that night too, if she regrets the choices that led her here. But mostly, I focus on my own path forward. Because while Rebecca's story ended in ruins, mine was just beginning. And this time, I was writing it on my own terms.